morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folari. As you've heard by now, in fact, you knew even before today, that this is the unfortunate anniversary, the second-year anniversary of the abduction of the Chibok girls, and our hearts go out to them. There's been discussion on that on virtually all of the media that you have access to. Our hearts are with them. We're not going to belabor the point, and we'll just, as it were, keep on praying and hope that everything works out. So-called proof of life video has been put out there. We'll leave that situation for now. Let's turn to some other things. And, well, security still, an aspect of our security. You might have heard that the police is recruiting. The police opened up a portal, put out the announcement that we want to strengthen our numbers. Right now, I believe, but we'll know for sure shortly, I believe that we're somewhere slightly below 400,000 men and women in strength. Now, the police want to augment that by about 10,000 in the first instance. They opened up a portal and said people can apply to there. And so far, it has 1 month to go before the whole thing expires and we won't be taking any more applications. But the police have 50 times as many so far, and that's even a conservative estimate, 50 times as many as they actually want and can take. Last time I checked, a few minutes ago, it was in the region of 550 applications had been received by that portal. In fact, I was told by the police that it actually collapsed at a certain time and they had to put it back up again. Chief Superintendent of Police, Adebowale Lawal, he's the Zonal PRO, Public Relations Officer, Zone 2, in charge of Lagos and Ogun States. Thank you very much, CSP, for coming along.
Thank you very much.
You'll be sorting, we have questions to ask you, and I'm sure you'll be very helpful to us. We also have Okechukwu Nwaguma. He's also a concerned party, as is every Nigerian, in the sense that Okechukwu is the national coordinator of NOPRIN, which is the Network on Police Reform. Okay, thank you very much for coming on.
My pleasure, always.
Indeed. CSP Lawal, is it possible to have too much of a good thing? You wanted 10,000 men and women, and so far, around 550,000 have actually applied. Is the police overwhelmed?
Well, we are not actually overwhelmed. We are not surprised about the turnout, the number of applicants we have so far. And this one, because we have, because this is due to the structure we have on ground. Forget about this unemployment problem that we are facing, the youths especially. But because of the structure on ground put in place by the present management team, the IGP, Solomon Arase, and the management team, I'm sure that is one of the things that have actually attracted this large number of applicants.
You know, so many aspects of our lives, we in Nigeria, public life, governance, we not always can we get to where we want to be. Thinking about the ideal figure for the Nigeria police. First of all, would you allow the figure that I gave of somewhere just below 400,000 for Nigeria police men and women? Is that figure accurate?
Yes, you have
somewhere in that region.
Yes, somewhere in that region.
So what is the ideal, the so-called UN recommendation?
I think it's about 400 to 1 police officer. So if that has been, we'll be needing not less than maybe about 500.
Somewhere around half a million. So from what you're saying, if the ideal, that ballpark figure that people use, the UN has figures for doctors, for instance, the ideal case, how many doctors there should be in a country given how many people to one doctor. So how many people to one police officer, that's where we come up with a figure of 400 and something to 500.
500.
So it looks like but that is just the base minimum. It's a ballpark figure. Depending on the country and the situation, it might vary.
Exactly.
Right? Okay, so that's what we have there. Now, okay, this, from what we are hearing, the recommendation, we seem to be close to it already from what we have. Not that we're there, but we'll be close to the sort of absolute minimum as recommended. What do you then make of, one, the initiative to hire more police men and women, and the overwhelming response in the region of 550,000 applicants so far?
Well, considering the level of crime in Nigeria and the need for public safety, I think there is every need to, recruit more hands. But it goes beyond just recruiting people, but also equipping, because I mean, if those that are already there are equipped and given the necessary tools to discharge their functions, recruitment may not be so much an issue. So it goes beyond just recruiting, but the
How
need
well
to also,
equipped?
yes, technology, for instance,
in this day and age.
yes, I mean, issues of intelligence, because modern crime relies more on timely and reliable intelligence than just AK-47. So it's more about what equipment the police have to discharge their functions. We have police officers who are quite committed, dedicated to their duties, but they are hamstrung by lack of adequate, facilities.
Indeed, because well, CSP, yeah, I like that, because we've seen from the figures that we are actually almost there before this exercise, because people might have been, some people might say 10,000, isn't that a bit like a drop, in a bucket? But no, when we looked at when we crunched the figures, at least they're theoretical, but we see that we're almost there, and 10,000 more would have put us, somewhere, where we should be. But as Okay has said, and you might agree, it goes a bit beyond men and women of the force. Equipment, training, and all of that is also part of it. For instance, I don't know if the police has a system such that a man might have had an issue somewhere in Kaduna, for example, whereupon he was fingerprinted. And if he has an issue years later in Lagos, the mere fact that that the print is on file somewhere, I don't know if the police has the wherewithal to be able to tell instantly from just asking a database that, as a matter of fact, he had a minor traffic infringement, 3 years ago in Kaduna, so we know who this guy is. Do you have such facilities?
I think very much we have such facilities. In fact, at Alagbo, for CID, we have our fingerprint section, the forensic lab, and that is there. And all the DPOs that have been directed that before they charge any suspect who is involved in a capital offense to court. In fact, any suspect to court, the fingerprint impression should be taken and forwarded to the CID for analysis. And aside this, you see, we are actually practicing what is community-led policing, intelligence-led policing. Not necessarily, intelligence does not necessarily mean that any person could give you information, but you analyze the information, and that's what becomes intelligence. So, be that as it may, if somebody commits an offense in Sokoto, or for instance, because the community knows about it, they can always inform police about it.
Yeah, but would the police in Lagos or Ijebu, for instance, be aware that somewhere in one of our formations he had an engagement with them?
The fingerprint must have been taken in Sokoto. If he commits another offense here in Lagos, for instance, and another fingerprint inspection is taken, by the time you do that, you want to analyze it. Of course, to show that you have this record already in your database.
This excites me a bit. If we have this sort of national fingerprint database, if we have that, that would be exciting. It means that we're getting somewhere, because I didn't know that such was the case, that we do have a national fingerprint a database.
At the police level, we have our database fingerprint at the forensic lab at Alagbo, at Force at Alagbo.
And as an aside, but it's sort of related, the various other agencies that also take fingerprints, like the passport office for immigration, for instance, the telcos, the telephone companies, for instance, how useful are those?
That's what I was talking about, this intelligence. You see, the circulation of information from different organizations, maybe security agencies, members of the public, that is known as intelligence gathering. So we have a good working relationship, mutual understanding, and collaboration with all the security agencies in Nigeria. So we work hand in hand. And don't forget, look at it's because of this intelligence I've been able to, to show you that it's very effective. They have assisted us in arresting, making some, useful arrests. Look at the last, those hoodlums arrested. These cross-border armed robbers arrested within Lagos and Seme. It was through intelligence that we were able to arrest them. The intention was to come to Lagos to come and cause chaos, cause havoc, wreak havoc on the members, innocent citizens of the country. But we were able to, through intelligence, collaborative efforts with other security agencies around that area, we were able to arrest them.
Where is our forensics at right now?
I mean, in the police?
Yes, of course, in the police. Where is it at? Is it at a state, an appreciable state?
Of course, it is at an appreciable state. You could recall that even this, when we were talking about this character, good character, something about good character, when you want to travel out, you need a letter to attest to the fact that of good character. You have to take your fingerprint and see whether I have criminal record or not.
Okay.
And that is why we advise members of the public to go to Alagbo to do that. It's because it's functional. That's why you have the confidence to tell them, go to Alagbo so that you go and do that. They capture your fingerprint and analyze and see whether you have criminal record or not. If it's not effective, we don't have directed people there.
Okay.
And people have gone there.
So if you have had an engagement with the police and they've taken your fingerprint, it's not just the formation where it was taken that it resides. Everybody
of course,
has access to it.
It goes beyond that.
It goes beyond
Yes,
that. Now, what kind of officers are you looking for? This 10,000 that has swollen to 550,000 wannabes?
In fact, 3 categories. We are looking for constables, we are looking for cadet inspectors, we are looking for cadet ASPs.
What's the difference between the cadet inspectors and the cadet ASPs?
The constable are those, let me start from the constable.
Sure.
The constable are those that are just starting.
Yes.
No rank. Then the inspectors are those wearing bar.
Yes.
Then for the constable, if you want to apply for that rank, you should not be less than 19. You should be between 19 and 25 years.
And is there a height requirement?
Yes, there's height requirement. You should be, for the male is 1.6 meter, for the female is 1.63.
I see.
1.63 meters. And of course, the chest is also there for the male. For the male is 86 centimeter.
The chest is not there for the female?
No, it's not there for the
You people don't worry about female chests?
Don't worry about the female.
Okay, just the male chest.
For the male is 86 centimeter, 34 inches. Then of course, for the inspectors,
yes.
Sorry, for the constable, you must have 5 credits, at least from 2 sittings, including Maths and English.
That is for the constable.
For constables,
that
yes.
is the very, very beginner.
Very, very, very beginner. Yeah.
You cannot come if you have less than
5 credits, including Maths and English.
Including Maths and English.
Yes, because you can give you consultation at 2 sittings.
But within those 2 settings, you must have those 5 credits, and English and Maths must be in there.
Yeah.
And you
then
still...
For the inspector.
Yes.
For the inspector, you should have you should be an OND holder or NC holder or advanced level, this advanced level,
GCO advanced level,
or equivalent. Then in addition to that, you must have 5 credits, including Maths and English. And you should not be less than, it's between 23, 28 years.
Okay. Then the graduates.
Then the graduates, of course, first degree, yeah. HND or equivalent. Then you have your certificates, NYC certificate. But another thing, that is very paramount. Forget about, apart from the educational qualification, there are some basic things you need to know to have. One must be a citizen of Nigeria. They must have a medical certificate attesting to that you are not mentally or physically challenged. And that certificate should be issued by a Nigerian police doctor or a government medical practitioner. Okay. And you must not have any previous criminal record.
Okay.
That's very, very essential.
You must not have any previous criminal record.
Yeah. And the form, there are guarantors, 2 guarantors. Either a traditional ruler of your community, the local government, chairman of your local government, the head of your institute you attended, then a police officer not below the rank of a CSP, or a military personnel not below the rank of lieutenant colonel, or a civil servant not below the grade level 12. They must sign, either 2 of them must sign, and they must attach their passport, photograph, and their ID card to the form, to that guarantor form. Then again, before you apply, you must have an active, a functional or working email address.
Email address.
You have to contact.
Well,
That's what I was talking that Nigeria police were good technology. So you see, you have to communicate.
CSP, just as you were reeling off all those requirements, apart from the last one, where you must have a working email address, it's the way we've always been. Those criteria is what the police and other, for instance, if you wanted a passport, for instance, it's very, very similar if you're going to apply for
These
a
ones
passport.
are specified in the Police Act.
It's specified.
What is it? Specified in the Police
But these
Act.
are actually in the Police Act.
Now, you see, let me come in. Everything I said here is, most of them are contained in the Police Act, you know. And if we follow the procedure as it is stipulated, we are not likely going to have unfit, people who are not fit within the Nigerian police force
To be police officers.
But what we find is that most of the times the process is circumvented. It's circumvented. I know about some police officers, junior police officers, even senior level, who entered the police force with certificates not belonging to them, belonging to some other person.
Yes.
Because the process is not, if the process is followed, for instance, issues
but wait a minute.
mental.
I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. But that might not be exclusive to the police.
No, but we are talking about the.
We are talking
the
about police
now.
but this happens to all the professions, even fake doctors.
The police is a very important
I
institution.
know, but there are fake doctors, there are fake lawyers who are discovered later on to use someone else's certificates to get. So, but you are saying that in the police, that kind of nonsense should not be possible.
Police is such an important institution that the police is the public face of government in a society, and that is why standards are set as to how anybody can find him or herself into. Now, let me illustrate what I'm saying. In 1999, when President Obasanjo came to office, and that was after 16 unbroken years of military rule, during this period, there was no police recruitment. There was no promotion. There was shortfall in manpower. In fact, the police at that time was about 150-something thousand, at 1999. To make up for this shortfall, the president ordered a massive recruitment drive. The plan was to recruit between 2000 and 2004, 40,000 per year. But what happened? After the first year, the president ordered a moratorium. You know what happened?
What?
There was an audit that revealed that more than half of those that were recruited, the president said were criminals. That is the language of,
used that
they
language.
were criminals and misfits.
I remember that language. Even, I'm sure CSP also recalls that language.
A lot of people,
it made the headlines at the time.
The circumvention of the process of recruitment enables people who are not mentally fit to fight. So the point I'm making, I'm not trying to criticize that. The point I'm making is that there's need to look at the procedure, and the Police Service Commission has a lot of role. In fact, statutorily, it is the function of the Police Service Commission to conduct police.
Let me bring those matters to the CSP. Yeah, you're going to be very, very concerned with people not circumventing the process.
Let me quickly say this. Yes, I appreciate what you have said, but then when you look at the form, like I said earlier, you see, we have put some structural organizers that will not be caught napping this time around. I wouldn't contest that whether it will happen. Yes, I know of a fact. Yes, I had it as well. But then look at, it started from the guarantor, the guarantorship. I've told you the traditional ruler will sign. Of course, the traditional ruler, who is what is sought, will not sign for a criminal. Then I'm
suggesting he was talking about political interference.
Yes, yeah, sure. I'm coming. You see, there will be screening. There will be screening. You see, the job, because of the past experience, I'm sure the president, I am very, very sure, confident that this present administration will not allow any undue interference in this recruitment.
Yeah. That's the kind of thing
because we have our name to protect. You see, we reach certain standard. We don't want to fall below that standard.
And this
the
is
present administration has taken us to certain heights. I want to keep on improving on that. And that is why you said, there's that provides today, that if you give false information, you not only be arrested, you'll be prosecuted.
Should you, because that's what it is.
Yes, whether you give a false certificate, you are not Mr. A, and use Mr. A's certificate and it's discovered, you will not be arrested, you'll be prosecuted.
Well, in fact, what you just said, that last sentence, I recall that whereas the police is taking it that seriously, and anybody would probably be, off his rocker if he tried to fool the police by giving false name. But you can't say that about the telephone people. Apparently, you can arrive there and say, my name is Dogsby, Alenji. And is that what your name is? And then you continue. That kind of thing might be going on. I don't know that. In fact, what happens there that probably is not going to happen with the police is that they ask you to fill a form.
You fill the form. You as a guarantor, you put your job is at stake. Your career is at stake because you attach your picture.
I think what is needed is rigor, in following.
A certain thoroughness.
For instance, how do you detect that the certificate I presented is
a genuine one?
How do you, detect that? Do you even insist on getting a report, a medical report on somebody to determine his state of psychological?
That's what you're saying. You said it's all in the act, and he is saying that they're not going to be caught napping this time.
No.
So it means they're also aware of all these dodges.
All the guys have been put in place to ensure that nobody, we are not shortchanged.
But, fine. 10,000 is what you were looking for.
Yep.
Now 550,000 have applied, and the thing still has a month more to go. So I don't know. Just extrapolating, I'm just guessing. Maybe we'll get to 1 million. How are you going to sort
the issue is this. You see, it's going to be elimination by substitution. Because now they have filled the form. Screening will commence very soon. Yeah. Don't forget that even among those 10,000 or whatever 500 that have applied, some have applied twice.
No, 500,000.
500,000 that have applied, some have applied twice. Okay. They will be disqualified. Some they know they have the requirements, basic requirements like the height. They will still apply. They will say, let me try my luck. Some, they see, sure. There are so many things that, of course, I don't want to start rolling out here because of administrative.
Okay. So, so the police is not unduly fazed by that number.
No, we are not overwhelmed at all. We are going to create thorough jail.
But what it throws up is the issue of unemployment in this country. People are looking for jobs. People are looking for jobs.
Well, the other thing,
which was why when immigration, started there, you saw the number that turned out. So I don't think it's.
And then I made the suggestion, or shall I say, I asked the question that in days of yore, young men and women wanted to get into customs department. I said in days of yore, not because they were particularly interested in securing, excise duties.
Not
and all
as a career path.
No. Yeah. It was for the so-called reputation of what you could get. Sure. Not just the customs, then particular postings. And in fact, within the customs, it is alleged, people used to be punished by being sent to dry locations. The equivalent in the National Assembly would be, they said that some
committees.
Some committees were...
They're not juicy.
Well, yeah, they had a particular terminology. Yeah. Maybe of these 550,000 so far, there are many who also think in those terms, but CSP Alawa was not having any of that before we came on air.
You see, I think aside the fact that we have this unemployment issue, like I said, there are so many incentives now that are attracting people to Nigerian police. In those days, people look at you, a policeman. In fact, I've had an experience where somebody told his son that if you enlist into the force, I will disown you. But gone were those days. You see, we have so many things. In Nigerian police, you can showcase your talents. And that's why people are coming to us now. Unlike, if you don't have many graduates, those that used to condemn police that have applied, not because they don't have the job. Yes. Some even have the job. Yes. But because they know they stand to gain more in the force.
Because the police...
I'm not talking about pecuniary reason now. Yeah. Now, they have a lot of incentives that will attract them. You can showcase your talents. The welfare package is there. The administration has looked at it. Okay, yes. In those days, we look at it. Okay, a police officer will look at it. It does have ability, but the management has said, okay, look, we have the welfare of our personnel is of utmost priority to us, and they are making everything humanly possible to ensure that we are comfortable.
Because the police is a noble and respectable profession.
Exactly.
That much is known.
That's right.
You know, that one, you can't argue about that. But I was watching a Yoruba movie, and this young man just came and told his mother how he had been accepted into the police. And of course, the woman burst into tears. You know, say, well, my son, it is God that will be protecting you. And so, you know this mindset. And the son was saying, mother, why are you, you should be happy for me. But the fact that the mother was saying that, I don't know how to say Okoba Nisha, let's say, the cutlass of the whatever, people who speak Yoruba will understand me. They just got there's the cultural, traditional impression that it could be a hazardous job. But that was time Imo River, as our people say. Apparently, there's a new wave.
Yeah, I'm happy to know about this new wave. But you know, there's also a sense in which people used to, I don't want to say used to because of the information is given that things have changed. There's a sense in which people sometimes see the police as a dumping ground for never-do-wells. For instance, this child is too stubborn. If we can't change him, send him to the police. You know, and then there are also those who think that, oh, if I join the police, it affords me opportunity with the uniform and the gun, you know, stand on the road and
you get status.
They see it as a means.
You get status, quite frankly.
So that is
for wearing a police uniform.
Motivation
you
for some.
Instantly have a certain status in society.
People, you know. Yeah, so those are the things we also need to check to ensure that people are coming in with genuine intention, that are coming into the police, seeing it as a career path to contribute to public, you know, safety.
And that's what CSP Lawal seems to be saying, that there is much to attract the young Nigerian man and woman or woman to the police, because whatever good as it was before, there were bad eggs within it. It's even a lot better, is what you're saying today as a result of the administration. Okay, I tell you what, I'm sure that our viewers have quite a number of questions for CSP, and so we'll take those questions as soon as we come back from break. Don't go anywhere, please. Welcome back. Still our guest this morning, CSP Adebowale Lawal. He is the Zonal PRO Zone 2 in charge of Lagos and Ogun Commands, alongside Okechukwu Wanguma of the Network on Police Reform. He's the national coordinator. CSP, you've reassured us that the police is not, in spite of those numbers, is not really overwhelmed.
No, not at all.
Because there's a sense in which you even expected it. And you're not just talking about it. You said from your perspective, no matter what other people, we civilians might think, from your perspective, it's not so much about that so-called pecuniary reason, but the police, the Nigeria police is now, today, a much better and a much different establishment than used to be. And people know this. He was talking, about the welfare of the police being also an attraction. That was news to me. What do you think?
One of the issues that we have been very much concerned about is issues of police welfare and working conditions of service. I must admit that the incumbent IGP has expressed sufficient commitment to enhancing welfare, restoring discipline and stamping out corruption in the police. But you see, I think that in spite of all the efforts, the good efforts of the IGP, a lot still need to be achieved because there are forces within and outside the police who are resisting change. There is need to address issues of welfare. Police officers are not earning what they ought to earn.
That's on the one hand.
On the one hand, in terms of insurance, health, even when they go on special assignments, these,
now that you mentioned that, CSP, what does a constable earn? A brand new constable, if he's successful in this process, what is that sort of entry level into police? Are you at liberty to share that with us?
No, I wouldn't want to share that. That's one of the.
But it should be public knowledge.
That one should be common.
No constable has less than 40,000.
Okay.
For a beginner.
No policeman earns less than 40,000.
There is something Oga will not tell you, but I'll tell you.
What?
There is actually no, if you see the payroll of one constable and another constable who are mates, it may not be the same. What you see on paper is not what they get. There is something that needs to be done about, internal.
First of all, let me see, since you're not a policeman, let me ask a policeman. Is that accurate?
Let me quickly answer him.
Sure.
You see, the issue is there are some members of the force that they are into this cooperative of a team. So I may say, okay, from my salary, we're deducting 5,000 every month. The other constable may say, no, he does not want 5,000. He cannot pay more than.
That's what. Okay,
that's why we have that disparity. Otherwise, it is a general thing.
Okay, that's the only reason there can be a disparity.
Yes.
Which will therefore not really be a disparity in the sense that the policeman himself.
The general concern is that, their pay and entitlements are not enough to address their needs and their grievances.
Yes.
That is the point. There's need to
take home pay cannot take them home.
You can't. There's need to improve on it. This is because the police, like I keep saying, is very important. If you want them to work, you need to pay them well. So
like
that,
anybody.
So that they also don't give as excuse poor pay to do things to augment.
But wait a minute, okay? If you want anybody to work, you got to pay them well. We all know about you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. But there still are parameters within which we work, given our state of development and given the size of our purse. So that also, hopefully everybody is going to have to chip in. I don't know. But before you come in, and I know you want to, let me bring in Wale, who has called in. Wale called in from Ikeja. Good morning, Wale. I'm not sure if Wale is still there.
Hopefully everybody. Good morning, Chief Yori. Yeah, good morning.
Thank you for calling. Go ahead, please.
I want to ask this question. Please, I have two questions to ask. And it goes to the CSC. Sir, what about the graduates that did part-time? What about the graduate that did part-time that never served? There are so many graduates that did part-time and never served. They don't serve they don't serve an NYC, but they have a certificate. Graduates that did part-time.
Oh, part-time.
Did they have any chance of joining the Nigerian police force?
That is
one. The second one. What about the spy department? Because there are so many of us who have an urge for filing. And is there any department in the Nigerian police force that can take that as in spy?
Which department?
What did you say?
Spy.
Did you say fire department? I didn't hear that.
I said part-time student.
Yes, we understand that.
Part-time student that I graduate.
That's the first question. But the second one, you were talking about a certain department. What department?
SPY.
Oh, SPY.
Oh,
supernumerary police.
Okay, specialists.
Yes.
To be a spy. Yeah.
Supernumerary.
Supernumerary constables.
No, the supernumerary we are no longer. That one is left for all these organizations to employ multi, all these Shell, multinational companies do that.
Okay.
But on the issue of
so they don't come under the auspices of police HR procedures.
They can get the police to train them for them.
They only train them.
But they are employed by
even though they wear uniforms similar to that of the
No, they have changed their uniform.
Their uniforms have now. Okay, so there's no confusion.
There's no confusion.
Okay, but now the man wanted to know what if my education was a
one of the requirements is that the graduates must have this certificate, and I believe it is because you want to be sure that that person actually graduated from a particular university. But like I said, if the applicants with maybe distance learning certificates could get a letter from the head of that institution, why not it could apply?
I see.
And then
now,
NYSC did discharge.
Exactly, discharge that. Okay, because you attended part-time, you couldn't exemption. This exemption, they have this exemption that you could produce that one.
Now, the police is looking for 10,000 more men and women. So far, it's got 550,000 applications. There's another 4 weeks at least to go.
Yes.
In the process.
Yep.
And this 10,000 men and women that they're looking for, it's not for your command. That is Zone 2.
Lagos and Ogun.
Lagos and Ogun. It's for all
It's
of Nigeria.
It's nationwide.
Okay. From Bidda, Sulaiman is calling in. Good morning, Sulaiman.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Please go ahead, Sulaiman.
My name is Sulaiman from Bidda, Niger State. My question is going to the CSP and the other your colleague here. I don't know. They say they want to recruit about 10,000 policemen. How about the people they dismiss in Nigeria police? More than 5,000 policemen. They do a screening by since last year. Nothing is done about it. But they want to recruit about 10,000 policemen. Why they don't want to consider the other people? Where they dismiss last about 5,000 people. That's my question. That one.
Okay, Sulaiman, stay with me here so that I can be sure I heard you well. I think Sulaiman is saying that there was a previous exercise of where 5,000 men were sought. We haven't heard anything about that. Now you're bringing this 10,000. Sulaiman, is that a representation of what you said?
I didn't quite clearly get him.
I think Sulaiman has gone, but I believe.
There was we've not done any recruitment exercise for quite a while.
Yeah,
the last one was, I think, 2012 or so, when some constables some young men were recruited and trained as constables, and they passed out. It's because of that. I'm sure that was even the fund why the presidency approved this 10,000. So, except it was talking about maybe people within the force that were supposed to have recruited. I wouldn't know. Okay. Otherwise, then on the issue of, I want to take up on this issue of health, the welfare of the men. You see, like I said, this administration is doing everything humanly possible to ensure that there is a tremendous improvement. Look at the health facilities. I mean, there is this NHIS that every police officer is entitled to, that you can go to any hospital, receive treatment, then the medical bill will be off, and they will be taken care of. Then apart from that, this administration
include their family members,
including members that their family members. In fact, last year, till 31st December, the IGP and the management team, advised all from constable to inspectors that any of their members of the family that had this terminal disease who go for treatment, even if it were going abroad. They will sponsor them and be taken care of. They're not only that. Lately, I think last week or so, about 2 weeks ago, all officers were advised that they should go for a medical checkup. That's to show you that we really have the welfare.
Ola Ikorodu, good morning.
Good morning, Yori. How are you?
Very well.
Good morning, gentlemen. How do you say?
Good morning.
Good morning.
My contribution goes this way. You see, police, they are doing a great work in this country, but we need to do it more.
Ola, can you help us speak up a bit, please?
Okay, they need to do more to what we want to get. You see, there are a lot of people who are in the police that are very nice people. When you meet them, when you have a problem, they solve it for you. You assume that, oh, this is the kind of police you have. But let me say, having said that, there are a lot in most police that are even not fit. I hope this new recruitment will take care of that. That's number one. Why not have to this one to the police authority? And this is my opinion, my entire opinion. If you want to have a good policing, why not have, I believe the position of an IG, I don't know what the police act says about this issue, but this is just my own. I believe we should have a police IG who is not a police officer. Maybe somebody from a security, from the army, from Navy, like we have in the custom, where we have personnel, be the IG. Maybe we have a chief of police, so that we can have, because when you look at it, even the IG himself goes from the GPO to this. Let's have somebody who is neutral. You will be able to understand the police very well, so that somebody who can take the bull by the horn. Thank you.
Thank you very much. An interesting idea. If it happened in the customs, why not in the police? The head of the service doesn't have to be a professional of that service. I know, well, that was Ola's impression.
His opinion.
Yes, but what we're talking about here, and thank you very much for it, by the way, Ola, we've noted it, no doubt. All the police organs listening to it also, listening to this, have noted it, that is a suggestion that someone is making. But we're talking about 10,000 men required. Do you think in the light of the over 500,000 applications so far, and I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this exercise it climbed to 1 million, because you know the Nigerian is an incurable optimist. Even though he's heard this figure, it doesn't mean I'm still not going to add my own application tomorrow. And yet you're looking for 10,000. You said that there are different cadres, three different. Yes. The constables, there's the specialist,
inspectors,
and then
assistant superintendent of police,
and then up to there. Is it just the general sort of rank and file? No, it's not the rank and file, as you said.
The rank and file is the constable.
Yes, it's not that. But I wondered if there are specialists that you particularly think we need to strengthen. I know that you people have all sorts. I think you have air police. I think you have water police,
pilot,
marine police.
You have marine. We have
bomb disposal people.
Bomb disposal.
You know, what any of those specialist areas that we can do with strengthening?
You see, I think it has. We look at the establishments and see. But all I know is that we have we've requested applicants. People who have. Maybe this is special certificates, maybe like engineers, pilots,
because the police,
medical doctors.
Police has all of the professions.
All the professions. In fact, they will even have, because they visit to us. Look at the present administration is looking at it from the angle that okay, this housing scheme that we are into for the members of the force. The building should be constructed by members of the force, and so we need the civil engineers. Then the workshop, at the workshop we need the engineers, we need the electrical engineers.
And so just about all professions.
All professions.
Certainly you have lawyers.
Of course, we have lawyers. We have medical doctors.
Yes.
We have pilots.
Before you go, okay, please hold the point so that you don't forget it. Hassan has called in from Lekki. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Yori.
Thank you for calling, sir.
Good morning to gentlemen over there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Nigerian police force is our police force. But a lot of Nigerians are quite disappointed with Nigerian police force. And the reason for that is because we inherited colonial police force. And they are not ready to change. Despite being an independent country, we are still on that path of colonial policing, where people see police as their enemies. And the police themselves treat people as their enemies. With due apology, within the Nigerian police force, we have some good police officers. But the majority of the police are not good. And there's no way the minority can override the majority. That's number one.
Hassan, do you commend the police for this initiative of strengthening their ranks?
Strengthening what?
They're strengthening they want to strengthen their numbers. Do you agree that, well, that's the way to go?
You can strengthen the number, but it has to do more with orientation.
Okay.
It has to do with the state of mind of the applicant.
Yeah, but CSP Lawal has just been telling us that is something that is being taken care of. Let me not say has been taken care of.
There's a need for spiritual education in the Nigerian police force. It's not an issue of somebody coming to say this. It's about we Nigerians.
Have you had bad experience with Nigeria police?
I had an experience. I came across one Inspector Okafor in Surulere. That guy is an excellent police officer. My car was stolen. I saw a real policeman at work. This man, there was no light in the police station. This guy went ahead and called the patrol team. And he took the radio himself, calling all the patrol teams. They asked me when my car was stolen. I told him 2 hours ago. He called within the radios, and he assured me that, Alaji, go back home, you will get your car for you. You understand? And true to him, this guy lived up his word. I really like that.
Exactly.
So
when you now say they need spiritual intervention.
Another thing happened to me.
All right.
I went to the police force to police station to report. A policeman actually about me with problem.
Okay.
You see, we have many police officers that are very, very bad. We need to face the reality.
All right.
We are all Nigerians. We should look at ourselves straight in the eyes and say the home truth to each and every one of us. It will help us. Nigerian police force needs to look inward. You understand?
All right.
And do a kind of reshuffling and spiritual regeneration.
All right. Thank you very, very much. But thank God that Hassan told us that he admires Inspector Kafo,
Yes,
and that we need many, many more Inspector Kafos.
Sorry, President. Let me quickly say this. You see, the present administration has put a lot of structures on ground to check the excesses of our men.
I agree with you.
Now, at the first headquarters level...
You agree there have been excesses?
Yes.
There have been excesses.
It's undeniable.
It's not deniable. In every organization, we have the bad eggs.
But the police has the uniform and the power in addition.
No, we don't misuse our power. We have like at the first headquarters level, we have the complaint response unit.
Yes,
that
yes,
if you have any acts to grant with any police officer, who of course you cover that he has carried out or he was unethical or unprofessional in his conduct. You can report to him. At the zonal level, at the zonal headquarters level, we have 822 Public Complaint Bureau. We have the escort. We have a lot of structures.
Do you have police policing you like the army has military police?
That's what I'm telling you now. The CR is there, the escort is there, the 822 is there, the provost is there.
Okay.
Then the escort is there.
That's what those 822 guys are all about.
Yes, you have any complaint, you complain.
Let me bring in. I'm sorry to say. Okay. I know I said I was going to come back to you, but Cynthia has called in from Yaba, I believe. Is that right, Cynthia?
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for calling.
My question goes to the police officer.
Okay.
I actually have a friend who is an applicant, and someone told her that she's going to be disqualified on the grounds that she has a child. So I want to know, is it true that married women or single ladies with children are not fit to apply for a position in the police force?
Is your question, are single mothers, eligible? Is that your question?
Yes. Single mothers with kids or married women, are they eligible?
Okay.
Even if they have every other qualification.
Okay. Let's say let's say people have everything else, but this person happens to be a single mother.
Madam, there is nothing on that advert that indicated that a single mother should not apply if she's satisfied medically fit.
Okay, but if you're an unmarried mother, that's personal. The police doesn't concern itself with that.
Our own is if you're medically fit, whether you're a single mother
or not,
provided you meet all the other requirements.
Okay, so Cynthia, that answers that question clearly. That is not one of the criteria.
Yeah, but except she's not medically fit, certified non-medically fit.
So she's properly qualified, she's medically fit, she has the right height.
Yes, now she doesn't have any challenge.
She doesn't have any of those.
She doesn't have any criminal record.
So you can't now say, oh, but she's a single mother. That is not going to. Okay, sorry, okay. About 2 times now, you've lost the point.
Yeah, no, the age limit that they put cannot apply. That is just what I want to find out.
Yes.
Well,
once you don't fall within that age bracket.
Okay, let me not answer. But
once you don't fall within the age bracket, is
which by the way is
the constable is 19 to 25.
Yes.
The inspectors and ASP 23 to 28. So if you don't fall within that age bracket, there's no point applying.
So anybody who is older than 28,
because
no matter how well qualified you are, the rules can't be bent.
Exactly. We don't want to bend the rules. You see, because that's why I'm telling you that we want to ensure that there's no shortcut. There are no shortcuts.
But apart from
there's also need to
on this particular point. Let me just get one little tidbit. Yes, you stated this, and it's so straightforward, black and white. It's very, very clear. No, you cannot apply if you're over 28. But are there not instances where the police bring in, especially, it's not a general thing like this, where a specialist comes into the police? He might be 35, he might be 40, but he has a particular skill, and the police feel that they need him. Are there no exceptions like that, or there's no such conceivable case?
No, because even take for instance a medical doctor. Maybe you say he's medical doctor.
Yes.
But the age brackets
still apply. In spite of the fact that those guys spend forever in school.
Yes, now they are there. The age bracket is, the age limit is there.
I see. So even if you're a doctor gone, you cannot be older than 28 before you get your application in. Okay.
Virtually, those recruited into the police come in as general duty officers. There, of course, there are units, specialist units, but I think that there are hardly, recruitment specifically into those units.
Okay,
It is from the pool
that they begin to
put
people.
No. We are doing this now. Like the last time we did we trained some these forensic scientists.
Yes.
They are specialists.
Yes.
Like the medical doctors cannot just go and bring somebody from maybe a general duty. He has to have the basic requirements,
yes,
the certificates. Because they are going to send that. And that's why it's in the advert that if you're a specialist, you have to have that certificate. A medical coach, of course, we should be able to produce a certificate. That's okay. As an engineer, a civil engineer or electrical engineer, you have that certificate and send that. And that's what qualifies you to be a specialist. Then you'll be probably deployed to the works department.
I see.
Yep.
So
but if you are maybe somebody BSc sociology or whatever, look at even at our finance departments now. The most people that are in the officer in charge of our pay, OCP, working at the heading that department, they are majorly accountants.
Of course.
So they are specialists, they are accountants. So because we don't want to put rand peg in rand.
Okay. So charter, we were saying that all the professions exist within the police.
Exactly. That's why we are GD.
Well, okay. We've run out of time, and but I think this has enlightened those who are concerned about this, that look, never mind that over 550,000 people have applied so far. We're looking for only 10, and there still is another 4 weeks to go. The police is not overwhelmed. You say you know how to handle these matters. Well, I wish you all the best, and I want to thank you, CSP Adebo Alilawa, Zonal PRO, Zone 2, that is Lagos and Ogun States. Even though all you've been saying has been on behalf of the force nationwide, these 10,000 people are going to be sprinkled, nationwide, all over the place. Thank you very much, and thank you very much, Okechukwu Nwaguma, National Coordinator of NOPRIM. I am Yori Folani. God willing, I'll be with you tomorrow for a fresh edition of the program. Maybe then we'll sort of revert back to the whole political scenario of what's going on at the National Assembly. I'll see you then.